All right, so let's talk about Reprogram Your Weight. Reprogram Your Weight is a book that I wrote in 2016. Now, the reason that Reprogram Your Weight is so effective is because it is based on my clients' success. It is not theoretical. And this is one of the things that I really love about NLP. If you're familiar with NLP is the study of excellence, neuro-linguistic programming. They weren't looking at all of the people who tried to get over a phobia and failed. They only looked at the ones who were successful. Reprogram Your Weight is based on the success of my clients losing weight. There are 4 guidelines, not rules. And that's very important because one of the experiences that's very common is this rebellious part that is tired of following the rules, tired of pointing, tired of the regimen, tired of the strictness, tired of all of that. So I call them guidelines because the only way that this is going to be successful for people is when they take a look at what's actually working and then be able to apply them to your own life individually and successfully by making adjustments. So they are guidelines. Now the first guideline is only eat when you are actually hungry. So this is about getting back to allowing your body to tell you when it's time to eat, as opposed to the clock, as opposed to anything else, right? I just came home, now it's time to eat. I woke up, it's time for breakfast. No, we want you to get back into, you're gonna wait for a signal from your body before you eat something, okay? Now, this is an intuitive style of eating, and there's a couple things to be mindful of here. First of all, we have to understand what the primary indicators of hunger are. And that is usually, I feel a sense of hunger, that's the stomach growling type of a thing, okay? Now some clients will tell me, Eric, I haven't felt hungry in years. And quite frankly, the truth is because you've been eating ahead of your hunger for years, okay? And that's a fear-based response, it's very common. There are some programs that will have you continue eating small meals so that you just never feel a sense of hunger. So maybe that you don't eat something else that's even worse, but for you to have long-term success with weight loss, I need that food out of your mind. So you're gonna wait for a signal from your body. Now, if you are one of those folks who's saying, man, I haven't been hungry in a long time, and Eric, I'm freaking out because you're telling me this right now, it's okay. It's okay if you're freaking out. As a matter of fact, it might be a good thing because the reality is that level of uncomfortableness means that you probably have an issue with this that is a really good idea for you to address in your life, right? So if this really doesn't feel good to you, this is where really good love and self-care come into play. Love yourself enough to not eat until you're hungry. So what does this look like? This means you're just gonna sit down and you're not going to eat anything until you're hungry. It might be 6 hours, it might be 8 hours, it might be the next day. It's within 24 hours. You'll feel it. Granted, there could be some medications. It's possible. And if you're on those medications, then this isn't applied to you. In my experience, 100% of my clients found their hunger once again when they were gracious enough and loving enough and compassionate enough to allow themselves to slow down, put their mind on something else, and allow the stomach to wake back up again and notice the signal, all right? Now, we need to know the secondary signals, and the reason for that is because sometimes we don't notice because we're busy doing things. We get lost in doing things, and you really do need to eat when you're hungry because I'll get a headache, you might get a headache, you might get hangry, right? So we also want to know the secondary feelings of hunger. So lightheaded, maybe a headache, and that could be indicator of low sodium, low potassium, and maybe a little tired, but a little grumpy. So if you notice that, then, oh, maybe I blew through my original hunger signal. So I'm gonna stop right now and go grab something to eat. That's just very loving. So that's the very first step. Only eat when you're actually hungry. This helps clients really stop thinking about food all the time. Now we're going to add a couple things to that. All right, so the other 3, we're not going to go into the other 3, but the other 3 to make this complete so it makes sense. When you are hungry, I want you to take half because you can always go back for more. We're all just eating too much, so take half You can always go back for more. Make sure you go back for more. Eat something healthy, something that your grandmother would recognize. To the best of your ability, get rid of processed foods. To the best of your ability. If you're trying to get off sugar, have fruit. Berries and apples. Berries and apples are your friend when you are trying to get off sugar. All right? And then eat within 30 minutes. Eat within 30 minutes. If not, you're going to get a fear-based response and you will always overeat. So if you find yourself in a position where it has been more than 30 minutes, drink a little bit of water slowly. Not too much might give you a stomach ache. Drink a little bit of water slowly. Be grateful that you are able to notice these things. Awareness is always the first step. Everything that we can become aware of, we're grateful for. Right? So, love you.